It's my pleasure to present to you the Treasurer's Report, and hopefully I can get the slides up here. There they are. I'm pleased to provide you with a brief update on the American College of Radiology financial and investment performance. And these results are going to be the results through February the 29th of this year. Whoops, sorry about that. Jumping ahead. Our assets increased by roughly $18 million since the end of June. The major areas for increase are in cash and property and equipment, and you've already heard about the change and the improvements that we're making both on the 1891 building and the purchase of 1892. Most of the increase that we see is from the acquisition of tax-exempt financing of $16 million to cover the renovation of the 1891 and also the purchase of the 1892 building, which is the one where the education center is housed. Our liabilities excuse me, let me go back again. Our liabilities have increased by about $13 million since year end, and again, this relates to the financing for the renovations. Our net assets have increased by $5.7 million since the prior year. This is primarily due to a positive gain from operations. The total equity of $82 million is supported by roughly $56 million of investments, of which $45 million have been designated by the board as long-term reserves. This chart shows an analysis of the historical trends of our net assets. This pattern has remained consistent from prior reports. As you can see, the net assets designated for long-term investments, which you'll see in gold, grew steadily from 2002 through 2007, and long-term investment market values have gained significantly since 2009, but have remained relatively stable in 2012. We'll cover the investment performance in greater detail in the investment report. The college's investment in property and equipment remained fairly constant at about $3 million over the 10-year period from 2006. In the past 4 years, the net investment in property and equipment has increased to over $27 million. The purchase of 1892 added approximately $6.5 million to the investments in property and equipment. In FY12, long-term investments have remained roughly the same. The undesignated funds decreased $1.9 million, and the investment in property and equipment increased by $7.6 million. This is our statement of activities for the 8 months ending in February of 2012, and compared to the year-to-date budget. The college has operating revenues of $67 million and expenses of $61.1 million, resulting in a net gain from operations of $5.9 million for the period. The college has an overall gain of $5.7 million after including other non-operating items. Overall operation revenues were above budget by about 1%, and the overall expenses were 3% under budget. This slide shows you the major sources of revenue, excluding clinical grants. The quality and safety and membership dues account for approximately 85% of the program revenues. On the expense side, the uses of this revenue, quality and safety correspondingly bring in a large amount of the revenue, but also are a large amount of the expenses, followed by education, and then very importantly, advocacy and membership and chapter services. This chart shows the net income or losses by program for the first 8 months. Clinical trials and research is about even, since what they bring in is more or less what they spend, although there's a slight net profit of about $273,000. Quality and safety produced a net profit of $8.3 million, and services revenue includes membership dues, quality and safety revenues and dues, really help to support all of the other program areas, and of course one of the important ones is, as you've heard from Dr. Patty, advocacy. This slide will show you the combined portfolio of our intermediate and long-term reserves, which is now just over 55 million, up about $1 million since the end of June. Our long-term reserve portfolio gained 1.32%, which trailed the benchmark slightly. In summary, our advisor reports to us that the mid-cap and small-cap emphasis in our equity funds has underperformed compared to the large-cap stocks. The value companies have also underperformed the growth funds. On the international side, the emphasis on small caps has contributed to a positive performance. The fixed income portfolio lags slightly behind the benchmark as expected, since our holdings are higher quality and shorter term funds than the market benchmarks. All asset classes are within the acceptable range as of March. The ACR has a policy of rebalancing once an asset class has drifted more than 20% from its target. The intermediate reserve portfolio holds strictly fixed income funds, and the returns on this portfolio is 3.15%, which slightly outperformed the benchmark. The short bond allocations outperformed its benchmarks, and the international bonds have seen superior yields. The Budget and Finance Committee met on Friday and presented a FY13 budget to the Board of Chancellors for approval. This budget is, as you see in front of you, and there are operating expenses for all of our programs within this. For FY13, we're estimating a net profit of $2.8 million. I would like to thank all of the ACR staff for their help, particularly the folks in the finance area. They've been instrumental in keeping me from dropping the ball. Thank you very much.